Hello and welcome back everyone to Clicks and Classics Night Call. We've had an interesting night so far. We found out what happened to Santa. We investigated a few of our clues. And we also met a lady that we had a run-in of some sorts on the night we got attacked. We had to clear all of that and also continue investigate on our investigation. Now we took on a client. Is that what you call it? A passenger, I guess, who has a very long ride for us and a lot of money, hopefully. So let's see how this goes. We pull up to the sidewalk to pick up the passenger who ordered a cab. Can just make him out, surrounded by 5 or 6 cops, an all too familiar scene. Every so often, the low, ominous tones of an officer's voice make it to your ear. The circle of cops breaks up. You see your passenger. He heads over to the cab and gets in. He slams the door and lets rip. Motherfucking cops. Gives you his address and you start the car. The passenger stares out of the window at the passing road as if to calm himself. Take a quick look in the rearview mirror. What was that all about? Nothing. Usual bullshit. He has a youthful sounding voice, a little immature. He's probably 20, maybe younger. What a fucking pain in the ass. Can't go without getting screwed by each and every one of those son of bitches. If you're not wearing goddamn beret, if you happen to be wearing sweatpants, then yeah, right, you fucking hood. He smirks wryly, then raises his voice in an octave. Your papers, please. He sighs, his voice back to normal. Yeah, sure, shove your aunt's cock up your frigging ass, buddy. Let's stay out of it. Your passenger is looking out of the window. The road passes by. There's very little traffic at this time of night. Only a few delivery trucks and worn-out drivers. Your passenger catches your eye in the rearview mirror and reluctantly removes something from his jacket pocket. The shape, it looks like a book, a paperback, with a white cover. What are you reading? The passenger seems surprised by the question, or perhaps by your familiar tone. He hesitates for a moment or two, then answers. The Count of Monte Cristo. Alexandre Dumas. All of a sudden, the passenger seems terribly young to you, like a naughty child caught red-handed. I read it once, a long time ago. He steadies his gaze on you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Main guy, you know, he's really pissed off. Catches your eye in the rearview mirror. You realize he's not all worked up anymore. It's my girlfriend who gave it to me. She likes Dumas? Yeah, I think so. She's into all that historical stuff. Me, it was a real drag at first, but that's all I'd say. She forced me a little, then I realized that Monte Cristo, he's one of us. I mean, his story, it's a lot like what goes on today. But I introduced her to new stuff too. There are these texts, you know, rap lyrics that she really likes. You should see her putting on a show and all, but the truth is, she really likes it. And the same thing with reading, right? I mean, it had to be properly explained to me. I had to want it to try. That was it, man. I was on my way. He looks down. A short time later, you pull up at the address given by your fare. It's a low, rather unattractive building. The passenger passes you the money for the ride. I have to go. I punch in early tomorrow. Pauses, eyeing the time on the radio's LCD display. Or later on, I should say. A moment later, he vanishes into the night. That was a good fare, but the tips, they sucked. Buddy. Just saying. getting... pretty low on time. That's a long ride, but let's do it. Oh, did I decline? Oh no, I didn't want to decline. No. Didn't want to do that. Clicked the wrong thing. Sunny Talpa. Okay, let's do it. You double park and wait for your next passenger to slide into the back seat. He looks at you like he appreciates you and your taxi. He gives you his address. You start driving. A few words are exchanged. The weather, Texas traffic. Then you can tell it's coming, the inevitable conversation about the killer. Some bits of information, rumors, things overheard. You make a mental note of what you've heard. Who knows? It might come in handy. Your passenger doesn't make a sound for the next few minutes of the trip. It doesn't bother you. You have enough on your mind. Your investigation, the judge, Busset. You're overcome with the craving to smoke. You nod slowly and glance at your passenger. Calm and still. He seems far away. Having a good evening, sir? Yeah, very good. So he turns his head toward you and gives you an odd look, like he is disappointed you're talking to him. He watches you closely for another minute and turns back to look out the window. Keep your eyes on the road. The silence becomes heavy. All of a sudden, you feel a strange sense of camaraderie with your passenger. You look at him quickly in the rear view mirror. He doesn't look familiar at all yet. It's like you know him. Seconds later, an outside light shines on his face at a weird angle. It looks like he's smiling. A few seconds later, you drive down his street. He straightens up a bit. Park in front of the number he gave you. He pays his fare without a word. The door opens slowly and he smiles at you. You can tell it comes from the bottom of his heart, despite how uptight he is. A really swell guy. You weren't expecting that. By the time you collect your thoughts, your passenger is already far away. He disappears into a building. A moment goes by before you turn the key in the ignition. I mean, interesting. Guess it's time to go home, right? Could fill up our gas tank. Let's do that. It's on the way. Pull over and stop at a gas station. No soul in sight. The fluorescent light irritates your eyes. The smell of pee is wafting up from the space in between the pumps. It's self-service here, you pay directly at the pump. The mini-mart over there must sell newspapers. The person behind the counter must see and hear things. Might be worth asking a couple of questions. You get out of your taxi and are struck by the familiar feeling that you are the last person on Earth. Oh, okay. Let's fill the tank. Let's make a full refill. You walk into the mini-mart. The guy behind the counter doesn't even look at you when he starts to talk in a lazy, lifeless tone. Welcome. He sighs, but beyond tired of repeating the same sentence over and over again. Tulla Bell Pom. Newspaper. What is this? Let's talk to the clerk. I was wondering, you immediately bring up the serial killer. The cashier looks up, obviously excited by the topic. Ah. You went €4, nice! Nailed it. Smile shines across your face. That's good. We already found a newspaper, so I don't think we need that. Not a word from the guy behind the counter. You, on the other hand, curse automatically as you put on one foot out into the freezing cold. Okay. Let's go home. It's late. Met Ludivine. That's not good. Need to make more money. Need to be careful about that. You take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. A bus goes by, making the walls shake. You take your shoes off before getting to work. Okay. Let's investigate the police report for victim 2 and 3. Okay. Yeah. Defender of several molested kids in poor neighborhoods. Yeah, that could be definitely connected. I can't fault with victim 3. Oh. Okay. Weapon kept in perfect shape. That was a cop, financial affairs. And he is a retired cop, so that is a pretty good clue, I would say. Okay. Victim 2, stolen wallet. Was that the guy that we also drove? Because he had, it seemed like also some kind of, I guess, almost like a personality disorder. Messages in chalk. Suspected colonel. Huh. I still don't really know what to make of this. It's kind of hard. It also seems like with this guy, we don't have much to go on. There are some connection with the Richardson scandal. I don't think you deserve this. I don't know. Kind of. Also can't manually connect anything, and I don't know if we have to do anything or if there will be just a point where we just get asked, hey, who do you think is the killer? I don't know. Well, I think we will have to end the night. The phone rings and you jump. You're not used to hearing it. No one ever calls you. It must be Bisset. Pick up. Bisset sounds irritated. You there? Yeah. Listen, it's... She pauses. You suddenly hear a ruckus in the background. Probably noise at the station. Bisset raises her voice. Anyone got the time? Hey, guys, anyone? Fuck, they're all Neanderthals here. Listen, it's early and I'm wiped out. So are you, I bet. Let's get straight to the point. What do you have for me? Oof. Oh, okay. In a calm and methodical voice, you're starting to giving her the evidence you collected. You start with the first suspect, their connection to the victims, the rumors, then the second suspect, and so on. A few minutes in, she lets out a whistle. Not bad at all. Seriously, you should come give a lesson to the zombies I work with. Long sigh. I have some good news for you. We checked the alibi of one of the suspects I gave you. As you listen to her, you turn to the board and pull down the suspect she's referring to. So it's gotta be someone else. She snickers. You know how lucky you are? I'm doing your job for you, pal. Okay, enough chit-chat. I got it around. I'll call you in 2-3 days, okay? Okay. I'll call you in 3 days, and you better have what I need to make a proper arrest. The DA has facts. We're pretty sure he's going to turn into a werewolf at some point. She babbles on for a while, her voice becomes softer, but just as sarcastic. That would explain his terrible breath. Okay, I'm out. She hangs up. You hold the handset to your ear for a while. You have just one thing in mind, sleeping. I'm forgetting it all. So who got removed? Claudia Campos. That made sense. So I'm leaning towards either the former cop or the guy who had a father as a cop because of the gun. Maybe even leaning towards the former cop, since the lady at the gun store said that the gun was very well taken care of. So, with a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. Slowly open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. Streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Your brain is running at full speed, your body aches and you are in pain, until you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. You hope to find more information, tonight even, as soon as you wake up. You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. Right when you're about to fall asleep, something rubs against your leg. You prop your head up and just there in the shadow you see a face. It looks like a combination of the faces of all your suspects. You wake with a start, look quickly around. There's no one there. Lay back down, feeling restless. Ugh, that doesn't help. You open one eye. You start whistling. Some song has been in your head since you woke up, though you don't know why. It's going to be a long ride. Get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Okay, night 4. We definitely need to manage our money, so can't be messing around too much, but I also want to get to these points of interest. I'm driving along when a strange burnt smell suddenly fills the cab. You look around and sniff. Is it coming from the outside? Keep driving. You keep driving. The smell's persistent, overwhelming. You see something move in your rear view mirror. You brake suddenly. A woman's voice resonates around the cab. I can't. I need a better signal. What? What? I'm here. Turn around slowly. The young one has appeared behind you. Don't shout. I'm afraid I'll lose the connection. I don't have much time. Something strange about her face, as if she is several people at once. Listen to me carefully. I come from the future, and you must know that you met. She stops moving, like a computer glitch. She stays this way, still frozen. Then she suddenly starts moving again. We're good. I think it's all taken care of. He smiles at you. Thanks for the information. I really wish I could explain everything to you more clearly, and... He starts flickering and disappears for a second. No, there's still something that... Cellular connection. He disappears for good. A few seconds go by. All appears to have returned to normal. Keep driving. Sorry, 40 seconds ago. The voice is coming from the radio. The passenger's, if that's the correct term, voice broke by an oddly grumbling noise, like someone else is speaking at the same time. Turn up the volume. You can make out the young woman's voice. She's giving what seems to be well-rehearsed speech. The virus appeared on September 18, 2049. Remember that date. Do I have to write that down? Let's write that down, shall we? Just for the... Maybe I need the numbers. Who knows? So... 249... September 18th. Her voice disappears entirely. Instead you hear what seems to be a liturgical chant in an Asian language on some frequency. Look for a higher station? You look for another station and stop when you hear the young woman's voice. From that point on, we lost half of the population every semester. Just imagine, millions dead, mounds of corpses. I was 20 at the time in college. We were fighting to defend robots' right. All seem pointless now. Lost everyone I knew. Everyone. I had a twin sister. She almost died instantly. The virus attacks randomly rather than permanent damage. The voice cuts off abruptly. The liturgical chant starts up again. Able to determine the language. Vietnamese. Find a station on which you can make out the passenger's voice. You have to imagine a climate of civil war, death everywhere, the virus mutating. There were mass suicides and a rise in fascism and religious extremism. We've been trying for years to set the record straight about the virus. Science can solve this crisis. Science alone can. The voice is drowned out by an avalanche of applause. You hear a new voice, deep, powerful. It's in English. American from what you can tell from the accent. To no avail. A few seconds later, the young one's voice comes over the wire again. Traveling back. If we create it, we can destroy it. I need information. I need passengers. We assure you, none of this. Anything more. Control to the past. Risk. The voice is suddenly clearer than ever. I hope you understand. It's crucial for us that you... One moment, Yes. The strange young woman appears all of a sudden in the back seat again. Ah. Sorry about all the comings and goings. Our technology is not 100% yet. The tiniest of smiles crosses her face. It's almost invisible. Anyway, I hope you get the point. Especially since we have to remain in hiding for the time being. She stops talking for a second. Face flickers. They're after us. It's not really any other way to put it. As I was saying, the extremists are trying to... She vanishes out of the blue. The ether smell vanish. The radio turns off. Pull over as soon as you see a free spot. Remain still for a while. She doesn't seem to be coming back. Shake your head, disturbed by the strange visitor, and get back to work. What the hell was that? Like, what? I don't know. Okay. Time travel. That's fine. Leave your taxi behind and walk towards the last victim's building. Charles Bougrain Ferrer was killed in his parking garage. The large metal garage door is firmly closed. Look for another entrance. You walk around to the back of the building and look at the various entrances. The main one, the garage door, and the maintenance door for the trash cans. What about the maintenance entrance? Barely taking a step back when a voice calls you out. Hey, what are you doing? This is private property. Turn around and see a rather elderly man, probably the concierge. He shines his flashlight in your direction. I'm a taxi driver. Taxi driver? Got no fucking business here. Can I ask you a question? You've tried making out his face, but you can see his eyes bug out. Go! Get out of here before I call the cops! Leave the lobby. The concierge follows you and checks to make sure the door is firmly shut behind you. Go get the fuck out now! Make your way back to your cab. You glance back at the building. The furious concierge is gone. Settle in behind the wheel, short of breath. Well, that didn't go well. I mean, I'm still a little bit rattled from our visitor from the future or whatever that was. Let's get this clue as well before we take the next passenger. Or maybe at least try to get something out of this. The police archives look like any other building in Paris. No sign, nothing to make it stand out, but this is where all the case files and criminal records are stored. You know the place well. For several months, you spend a lot of time with the woman who directs it. She was a regular passenger, calling upon you almost every night. First as a driver, then you can see her shape from across the street. You try to prevent your brain from going there, but it has a mind of its own. She's as beautiful as ever. You get out of the cab. Cross over to the sidewalk on the other side. Helene. I'm not going to lie, I was surprised by your request. She lights a cigarette. She still has that cold, distant look about her. But you know, it's just a facade. You don't smoke anymore? Ah. First waft of nicotine and gas from the lighter. Heaven. She runs a hand through her hair. Her wedding band shines under the street lamp. You're freezing. Listen, I'm sure you know I'm not allowed to give you this kind of information. But if what you say was true, then you get the impression she's reaching for your side. Her hand brushes over your wound. You think about her body, her habits, how she used to call you in the middle of the night. I fished around, and the first 3 victims were not part of the data leak. Shit. Shit indeed. That means the information about Besson, Bougrain, and the Argentinian one, Gorodisha. Yes, that's it, Gorodisha. It all came from someone who had access to their criminal records. That help? You know, bits of ash from your cigarette sprinkle on your head. You attempt to smile. It's better than nothing. So that would point further to the old cop, right? Moment of silence. Helene takes a drag of her cigarette like there's no tomorrow. She paces a bit to warm herself up. You should come over sometime. What do you think? You grin. You and Helene used to sleep together when things with her husband weren't so good. I mean, why not? Let me just finish all this. Yeah, of course. Give me a call when all this is over. She looks deep into your eyes. You look down. Her hands are shaking. One last smile and she puts her cigarette out. You do the same. I've got to run. Need a taxi? That's very kind of you, but Bruno's coming to pick me up in a little while. Good luck. Reaches out to you affectionately, then stops. Decide to cross the street to put some distance between you as quick as possible. When you get to your cab, you hear her saying something. She's yelling from across the street. Also, you should stop smoking. It's bad for your health. You wave. She goes back into the archives. Get in your cab and rub your hands together. Time to get back to your shift. Okay. As you drive by a kebab restaurant, you will come by a wafting smell of meat and fat. Okay, let's accept the car ride. The woman getting in your cab looks frantic. Plus my inspiration. Every last drop of it. Come on, driver. You throw her very skeptical looks at the rearview mirror. I'll tell you when to stop. I'm seeing! The stream, Dad, Billabong, He stops talking. You hear a low guttural sound coming from her throat, a mantra. Everything alright? She looks as if she could kill you. Shh! Closes her eyes. Shh, shh, shh. You've had bad enough of her tone. Staying quiet. Billabong. Must find a Billabong. What's that? She inhales, closes her eyes and focuses. Her voice drops, becomes more intense. A Billabong. A dead river. It's one right below us. Drive, I say. Stop driving. Stop driving. A few minutes go by before you realize your passenger is making a guttural sound. The sound resonates with the hum of the engine. Once in a while she changes notes, modulating and playing with the harmonics. Suddenly she shouts, "Turn left!" Then abruptly, as if she were following a path she alone could see, "Go down the boulevard." Drive for a few minutes, aimlessly. In back, your passenger is still singing. The meter is running, the kind of ride that puts you out of sorts. Who knows when it will end? Your passenger squeals. "Stop! Right here! No, not a bit further!" You brake. "Yes! Yes!" She whistles, a high, loud note. Billabong runs just beneath us. Its water flows no more. Black stream from my vagina has stopped short. The black stream... You should go to a doctor, lady. Like, if you have a black stream coming from a vagina, anyone out there, just... I'm not a doctor, and I'm not saying that anything is wrong. I'm just saying, if you have coming a black stream from your vagina, please go to a doctor. Please. Do not look for billabongs. Do not take unnecessary taxi rides. Just go to a doctor. The rumble of revolution. The water flows no more. All that remains is to clear away the remains. Stop the engine. Silence fills the cab. Your passenger's low voice and the scratch of her pencil on the paper are hypnotizing. How many rivers have run dry? Water has left its bed and flows no more. You feel something vibrate beneath you. Probably the metro. How I long to sculpt the clay and the mud of life in this water that flows no longer. Except the metro doesn't run this late at night. I plunge my calves in this water that flows no longer. I am calm and refreshed by its coolness. He squeals so loudly it makes you jump. He then turns to a simpler, more natural tone. Thank you. This poem has been years in the making. I was only missing a few lines, until tonight. I sensed the billabong I needed while walking down the street. Like a charm. A muse. She opens her eyes. You! When you are driving alone at a night like this, what moves you the most? All the people who don't sleep. Yes, it's amazing. The sun goes down and the night walkers come out. What an idea. He scribbles a few words in the air. Turn a few steps back. Above the water that flows no longer. The air continues to pulsate. Comes down. Your voice shares a resonance with official side? That thing. You know how to respond. Yes, that's it. With official side. A second later, she left the cab. I knew I would find my inspiration on the path to the billabong. She freezes. Color is marble. Official side. Never forget this. She says nothing more, passes you her fare through the window, and walks away with purpose. You sigh and drive away. I mean, thanks. Thanks, lady. Okay. I think that is a good place to end this. What a weird start into night 4. We have time travelers, we have a weird vagina lady, and also a former affair of ours. Good place to just take a moment and take that all in. Thank you all for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a like, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with more Clicks and Classics Night Call tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.